I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan your own hands can land.
Man, feeling well, man.
What's your name?
My name is Cardi Cornish.
And you a legend?
I'm a legend.
You're a legend here in Baltimore City. Where we at right now?
We live in the 17 Pennsylvania Avenue. The legendary Pennsylvania Avenue.
Man, the last time I saw you here, you were doing something just across the street here. What were you doing?
Oh, yeah, I had some food left over from an event. We brung it out. We fed a couple of people, man.
Why you do that?
Nice soul food.
Why you do that?
Man, the love that God has shown me in Christ, man, it overflows. That's how it overflows.
Yes, sir.
We got more than we can.
Already was high within San Antonio Winchester community, but the age group is getting younger. Children under the age of 18 being murdered in San Antonio has a high peak right now. So our goal is to catch the children. Gamble.
You going hard, man. You going hard on that man today. So what do you think, Mr. Mayor? You got manufacturing right here, helping our young people despite all of the challenges in the city of Baltimore, right here on North Avenue.
Nah, it's really about the growth. Just knowing being there when they were down in Fort Covington and seeing how far it's grown. Like you said earlier, like getting the sorbet, you know, where we got the sorbet at the beginning, but now being able to, when I'm at Camden Yards, get it, or anytime I'm down at Harbor Place to get it, and folks to not even know, but they gonna know now that like this is coming from young people in West Baltimore, right there in West Baltimore on North Avenue, where they think nothing great comes from, but they can see it with the young people.
If you work for it, it's only worth it if you work for it.
Here on the mighty Mississippi, down right here in Prince Floyd, Memphis. Beautiful town, just leaving Algiers, which is an update 10 years since Katrina. The news before. All right, y'all, this is what I came to New York for. Besides the Black Wall Street Awards, we're going in here and get some of this real good jerk chicken. Donnie Glover, out.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me.
But we need to feed our loved ones. Docs needs to rescind this package policy program so that our loved ones are able to eat every day in that filthy facility.
We have some stars in the building.
I feel like no one takes it.
First name's Donnie, last name's Glover, in it to win it for the long haul, baby. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. Do check out our websites, blackusa.news and bemorenews.com. Today we're being joined by the one, the only, the godfather of politics, Mr. Ervin Bernard Reid. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Glover, my good friend. How are you?
We're glad to have you back on the show. Joining us is Andy Pierre. Do you know Andy Pierre?
No, don't know Andy. No,
Andy is a young Ervin Bernard Reid.
Oh, okay.
How we doing, good brother?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Always good to talk to the young folk.
Yeah, we can stand to learn a thing or two from Andy. Andy know how to pull in that Skrilla.
Well, no, your boy Elliot, man. Every time I talk to him, I want to pull out a pad and pencil, man. He reminds me of Wayne Curry. Every time he speak, yeah, I've learned 3 or 4 new things. Yeah, so I love it.
Well, Andy he'll give you the political, but he'll also give you some technical too. He'll tell you how to put a AI campaign together to pull it all together.
Oh, okay, cool, my man.
And then we have our financial guru, He's an undercover political. You think I don't know it? He just dropped too many names. and when you connect the dots, Ervin, you realize this cat been hanging out at the Oval Office somewhere.
Well, I've seen him on the show now. I've seen him on the show. Yeah,
Brother Reid, good morning, man. Good morning. Good to see you, brothers.
Same here. Absolutely.
Well, there's no need pussyfooting around, Ervin Bernard Reid. Let's get straight to the jugular. Did you see the recap? Well, did you see the Biden interview by Stephanopoulos?
I did.
Your thought?
I think Biden can't win. And I think he's a great president. I think in my lifetime, you could even make the case he might be the best president as far as for African Americans. And again, I'm not a history guy, but this guy, and I didn't support Biden in the beginning, but this guy right here, I think he's genuine. I think he's fair. I think he's honest. I think he's a good and decent man. But he's old now. I'm 66. Yeah, you know, when I started campaigning in 86, my volunteers, we couldn't work all day, but yeah, I got guys I got to send home before it get dark because they ain't gonna make it home. We don't, and he's older. And so he's good now. I don't think 2 years from now he would be good. And for me, unlike most people, Kamala is not the answer. If y'all think Hillary lost to Trump, this woman has no shot in hell of beating Trump. So I think, you know, the Democrats need to do the right thing and pick a candidate that can win if democracy is the issue.
Okay. First Lady Michelle Obama said, hell to the no.
Okay. Then democracy don't matter. Then it's about, so stop telling black people who don't vote, they need to vote because democracy is at stake. Either it is or it isn't. If it is, then let's put the best candidate. If it ain't, then just stop telling black people that have been left behind. I'm sick and tired every time I go on television. They're talking about how people that have been left behind need to, maybe you need to do something for them. And then they will carry the party. So yeah, so it depends on what your issue is. If your issue is we can't afford Trump, then send the best candidate. She ain't gonna beat Trump. Hillary Clinton was a polarizing white woman that people hated, and Kamala Harris is a polarizing black woman. She's got to answer some questions. When Joe Biden decided to run, he had to talk about that crime bill. He called Anita Hill. Anita Hill got grilled like you've never seen before in that Clarence Thomas hearing and asked for her support. Kamala there are questions about this woman's got to answer, especially before she get my vote. Obama didn't get my vote the second time he ran. He never answered questions about black folk. I'm black. You got to answer questions to get my vote. So that's all I'm saying. You know,
what kind of, she's got to answer questions like why you lock up so many black people in California.
Yeah, she got to answer that question. Doni, in my lifetime, what'd you say?
She ain't gonna answer that.
She ain't gonna get people's votes. Y'all gotta understand, you can't, it's your record. Doni, every time Doni comes on, he talks about Angela and says, what about black business? That's her record. We're not asking this woman to answer nothing but her record. You got to, we as black people have got to stop with this stuff or letting people just leaving people behind and then act like it don't exist. There are too many people. Look, I've been telling people for all of a sudden, you know, we got the 2025 project. Democracy is at stake. This, that, and the other. I grew up in Cherry Hill. Guess what? A lot of them have been messed around. You know, things have been bad for a long time, but it just wasn't bad for you. Now all of a sudden it's bad for you, black middle class, and now no, not me, dude. I grew up in Cherry Hill. That's where I'm from. That's who I represent.
What about Angela Alsobrooks? Didn't she lock up black people?
Nah, Angela was a better state's attorney than she was a county exec, in my opinion. The first Angela, when she ran against 5 people, 4 of whom worked together in the state's attorney's office. When Angela ran, she was supported by the FOP. They endorsed her. They gave her money. They did everything. Her first month in office, she set up a committee to basically look at cases of cops that she thought were bad. And the person she put in charge of that committee was one of her opponents who ran against police. and they stopped supporting that. Angela, there was a cop that had a couple of bags. She threw them all out. Let everybody out, y'all. No, we ain't got to go through all of this stuff. No, let them out. Right is right and wrong is wrong. 24/7, 360.
That's the first time I've ever heard that story. Why has she been hiding you on the bench?
Well, Doni, I'm trying. Look, at this point in time, I'm tired of talking.
You're from Baltimore, and we need to hear that story. We're not hearing that story here. We're hearing the stump speech.
Doni, we don't. You know how many? I'm sick and tired of talking to people who don't know anything about. In politics, people do what they want to do. Man, this dude Westmore got me so fired up I can't even sleep. He gonna let out 175,000 people. I remember when Obama, I was telling my friends, Obama need to let these folk out of prison. He sets up this initiative, meaning that he ain't really trying to do nothing, just get some sound bites. And I think they let out like 1,700, something like that. But dude, what I'm saying is,
Obama let out 1,700.
Yeah. And I think then Biden rolled around. I think Biden has let off like 6,500. No, Biden, this brother's doing what he said he was going to do. He's trying to make things right for people. And I want to see things. I'm not trying to look, man, my thing now is to help Black people another way. And that's through technology and trying to teach people, young Black folk that look like me who don't have role models, that they can be involved in technology. So that's where I am. I'm tired of talking to people telling me, well, he can't do that, Ervin. They won't let him. He the president, do what the hell he want to do. Trump showed y'all that. Why in the hell? But and again, I like Biden. I think it'd be a couple of mistakes he's made, especially with this attorney general. Why he wait so long to go after Trump? Then we got to hold people accountable.
Why did he wait so long to go after Trump?
Because they didn't
even for the election cycle.
Was it because his son Hunter was having troubles of his own?
I think we don't want to make it seem like we didn't do our homework for white, but Black people tired. Black people don't think. We've been telling people for years, the system ain't fair. Well, all of a sudden it's like, well, the system ain't fair. No, it ain't never been fair. We've been telling y'all that for years.
Well said, Ervin. Well said. Byron Dees, come on in.
Hey, I want to tell you what Ervin Reid has outlined, especially as it relates to Black sentiment on Biden, Black sentiment on Project 2025. He said something that was so powerful, I had to write it down, which I think a lot of folks aren't really digesting, if you will. If you see Black people posting information about Project 2025, more than likely it's going to be a Black person who's either middle class or business class or somebody in that demographic, because the threat of losing their economic base, and also you can factor in the social civil liberties and things like that, but it really goes back to economics. You start shutting down 8A, you start shutting down affirmative action, you shut down all these things that have stood as the base of the Black middle class and Black business class factor. That's I'm one of them, right? Who's concerned about Project 2025. The point you made about Black working class, not really, who cares? It's been issues like that for years. They hadn't given us our rights for this. This is a very important point as it relates to what can Black people do to address all these factors that are happening in government and politics, who do we vote for, why, if we're going to be able to stand as a one collective vote, or if we're going to be a splintered, fractured Black political vote, if you will. So that's an important point that I think we all need to have that conversation. Now, the truth is we got a short amount of time, right? So we're down. I believe what's the tea leaves that are organizing right now is that they're prepping Kamala to step in. They're prepping Kamala. They all laying it all out. She did her run. She's on her stump speech in Essence Festival this weekend. She was there for 2 days, organizing her base, which is the base of the Democratic Party, the Black women. She was there on the stump speech, right? So I think they're prepping that.
But I'm sorry, no, go ahead. No, what I'm saying, Byron, is this. She ain't got a shot in hell of winning. I'm just telling y'all now. She's going to excite people more than Hillary. There are people in the hills that ain't never voted coming out hell to the no. This whole white supremacy stuff is real, y'all. We got to be
perception of white supremacy.
No, white supremacy is real. White folk in both parties.
Perception of white supremacy, from my perspective, because ain't nobody better than me. I ain't better than nobody, and I know my history. And if I know that we are the original man, then I would be idiotic to even say that. I can't say that. I know too much about our history.
No, I agree 100% what you're saying, because I agree with you. I walk in the room and I ain't taking a back seat to nobody.
Right. You from Cherry Hill, I'm from North Avenue.
But Donnie, what I'm saying though, I'm not voting.
And the sister, hey, look, you know they recruiting
the question. So everybody's you can kiss my black ass if you got a problem with it. You just got a problem with it.
Do you know they recruiting? You know they recruiting black men to Japan? Do you know they recruiting black men to Poland? Supreme.
Okay. No, I agree, but she can't win. She can't win. But we want to do that. They did it with Hillary. And then they blame everybody but Hillary. Well, y'all didn't come out. Yeah, I told y'all wouldn't come out.
Hillary, what about Bill? Bill locked up more black people than any Republican.
Right.
Bill, weed smoking, saxophone playing, old house pornography enjoying Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Don't mess with Bill. Andy Pierre, come on in. Long time no see.
All right. So,
hey, Andy, do you remember when Kamala had the hip hop party at her house? I remember it was last summer, and I was invited to go, and ended up not making it. And I was so glad I didn't, because I always want to earn the respect of my elders, particularly like a Ervin Bernard Reid. And I didn't go because I felt they're trying to salvage her career with some hip hop. Now, I'm not knocking her. Ain't no way I can vote for the Orange Man, but there was no way I could give Kamala a pass because I wanted to go to the hip hop, to her hip hop party and do a line dance and see Dougie Fresh. I can do that on my own time. When I get invited over there, I want to cover business. I want to cover mass incarceration. I want to talk about Ukraine. I want to talk about the Gaza Strip. I want to talk about the Congo with all of those natural resources. Help me out, Andy Pierre.
Well, the thing is, like, Kamala has pretty much avoided all of the hard issues and just hidden in the background, with knowing that, Biden is feeble, and at some point in time she would take power from him, and I guess that's her idea of it. But
if she outshine him too much, she'll be like Michael Steele when he was with Early. He left off, and then they only had a 4-year administration. They couldn't stay together.
Well, that's why I want to see what happens at the convention. I feel like I would like to see a floor fight personally. Remember you asked me a couple of weeks ago, who would I like to see jump in there? And I want to see Michael Bloomberg. So he jumped in the race last time, cleared all the damn Democrats out of the race so that Biden can have a clear shot. I want to see him come finish where he started. Here's the reason why. He's an old, rich white guy, similar to Trump. He knows more about Trump than we would ever know, because they run in the same circle, and he don't give a damn. And so he's going to get up there, and it's going to be a real live dog fight. If we can't have a good president, we might as well have good TV. And that's going to be good TV. Michael Bloomberg v. Trump, that would be good TV. That would be good TV. Like, I would be here for that. But the thing is, right now, whether it be Trump or Biden elected, I feel like neither one of those two are going to stop Project 2025.
Ooh, now that's a heavy statement. That's a heavy statement because when you look at Project 25, especially as it relates to their objective of just filling the government with MAGA supporters, if you will, I would absolutely possibly infiltrate the Biden's administration, if you will. So that part, I really pray to God. Now, what to your point though, there's nothing Biden can do at this point as it relates to the presidential immunity factor. That's the thing now. So there's no getting around that. That is a thing, and so now we're left to the moral character of the presidency to make sure we don't move into an authoritarian state, if you will. So that part, that's a different ball game altogether. But the part of actually infiltrating political operatives in the government, which, again, we all know people, especially in this area, who have worked for the government for years. They've moved up, they're career government officials in every agency. If that becomes not a thing anymore, and from the top levels of administration, not the political side of government, but the administrative side, those people who don't have that career experience in each agency, and they're just bidding whatever the executive office says, that is a different form of government that we have not since Woodrow Wilson experienced. So Black folks need to be careful about how we approach this election. But I still go back to Brother Reid's point. I think it's because, again, I'm thinking about this from the standpoint of, are we moving as a Black collective vote? When we think about when we bring out issues and bring it out.
Now look, upwardly mobile Blacks ain't had no rap for poor Blacks for a long time.
Yeah,
we moved to Randallstown, we moved to Prince George's County, Calvert County, and now we want to have an opinion on inside Baltimore City, inside Prince George's County politics. Let's be real.
Well, let me say this. This is not Project 2025 is more than just an attack on the upwardly mobile Blacks. This is a attack on Black upward mobility as a general. So if you were born poor, they want you to die poor. No, they want to remove your opportunity to change your state of affairs. Right? Now, that's what it's
and they want
like
to do it in the
this
name
is
of Jesus.
And they want to do it in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's why when you first showed me about Project 2025, I was like, this reads like a war manifesto, and it is. It's a stark reminder that America is still just as racial as it ever been. This document attacks every single pillar that we have built for ourselves to uphold, to pass down to for our children. This is a straight up attack on the Civil Rights Act. And the reason why I say that whether it be Biden or Trump, it doesn't matter, is because even under Biden, they have been steadily putting the pieces to their puzzle in place. They took away the women's right to choose. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, you cannot say that Project 2025 is not happening. We're just everybody's being sectarian about it, thinking about it myopically, when we need to just look at it like, listen, they want a civil war.
You're right. My point to it is what Brother Reid articulated, though, is the Black working class was like, whatever. This has happened to me in that presidency, this presidency. So why should I care? I'm going to vote the way I want to vote, because it's been bad for the past 50, 60, whatever years. So the impact of it is the factor. Yes, it definitely is happening to everybody.
It's been bad. But the thing is, we say it's been bad, but what I would say is, how do we define bad relative to what? Because before the Civil Rights Act, bad had a whole different definition, and that's what they want to get back to.
Yeah.
So bad relative to what?
Well, is 2025 going to be worse than what Bill Clinton did to us?
2025 is going to be worse than what's that? What's the thing called again?
Oh, no,
Not the black
I'm sorry.
Slavery.
I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andy. Let me rephrase that.
And Jim Crow.
It's
That's it. There we go.
2025
Modern 2025 is going to be worse than Jim Crow. We're not talking about.
No.
We're not talking about relative to the last 20 years, 30 years. Nothing in my lifetime is going to compare to what Project 2025 is going to bring to the place.
Get this book by Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow never left. It left for some of us. Dude, before Bill Clinton went to office, there were 500,000 people in prison. There are over 2 million now. Dude, I grew up in Cherry Hill. I'll put Cherry Hill next to any community in Baltimore. You know what I did on the summers? I went crabbing in my backyard. We went swimming. We had it all. I went back to Cherry Hill junior high school in 1989 to substitute. I quit my corporate job, wasn't sure, so let me go substitute. They weren't teaching those kids. If I wanted to do band, I went and got band instruments. They gave you instruments to take home. We had the math club, the travel club. They had none of that. That school aren't teaching kids anymore. Most of them, I could point in that room. That one be dead in 3 years. That one be dead in 10 years. That one will never. Dude, they've been doing that to black people all along. Y'all went to sleep. See, one thing about y'all went to sleep thinking, well, this is going to hurt us. Dude, we had women selling their kids on crack. That nonsense didn't happen when I was a kid. Gangsters didn't touch guys like me. If I wanted to be a gangster, they slapped me and take me home to my mother. If somebody was getting put out, it was the gangsters that paid their rent. So for those that don't understand how well it was in the hood and how good our public schools were, if you think this is bad, take your ass for prison and you ain't seen your father or your mother ever. That's why we didn't have 10-year-old kids running around here carrying guns. They might have had a toy gun, BB gun at most. No, dude, what's been happening in our neighborhoods has been so bad for a long time. Most of my friends, damn near all of my middle class or up, have always told me, well, no, things are getting better. Now, for the last 20 plus years, I've been telling them, no, things have been getting worse. We had leadership back then. You had Parent Mitchells and all of them who stood up and challenged the administration. So when these laws came down, you were prepared. You could call them. So if you think Jim Crow stopped, no, this stuff been going on. These judges and all of that. Why are these people in prison?
Well, Ervin, explain this to me. Last week, the Supreme Court gave the president the power to send SEAL Team 6 in on anybody he wants. And it can start with Biden.
Well, I'll be honest, Donnie. I'm not a lawyer, and it's a little over my head. But what I do know is that the circuit court and the district courts are the ones that have been locking a lot of us up, and that's what they care about. That's what people in the community care about. And a lot of them have been locked up unjust. I've been locked up for robbing a bank. 3 black youths robbed a bank. I just happened to be in McDonald's with 2 other brothers next door when I was at Northwestern. I done gone to 30 days with no bail, and everybody got bail but me. But I knew somebody knew. They called, and then I got out. But I'm saying things have been bad. That's where we've gotten. See, it's like I wrestled just like you did, Donnie. The wrestling, for those who don't know, have 3 periods. You don't wait to the 3rd period to figure out this is a tough match. No, you figure that out the minute you step on that mat. This thing is tough. And we, for some reason, think all of a sudden, just because they don't raise their head, but this stuff been going along with us all along. When they start locking you up, putting you in the prison, then it's bad. And I'll just say one other thing, and then I'm going to sit back and listen. Back in 1986, Parent Mitchell, and it's a shame that y'all have never had a chance to see Parent Mitchell. Greatest politician, as far as I'm concerned, ever. And Parent Mitchell said in 1986, and I thought Parent was on drugs or something. And he said that if we're not careful, we're being our black leadership. If we don't understand, we're no longer in the civil rights movement, we're in an economic movement. And if we're not careful, they're going to create something, they're going to create a permanent underclass. And that's what you have now in our community. And check them words out, permanent, meaning you ain't coming out of this. Underclass. They don't care. They're going to kill. They're going to do whatever. He said this in 1986. And he said that what they're going to do, this nation is going to do, they're going to put us on reservations. And those reservations are going to be called prisons. And these vision, and that's what you had. So for those of you who think you don't know how good it was back at Cherry Hill, dude. Yeah, so y'all that think y'all got it bad, no. The problem is what we fail to realize is that you need that 175,000 people to be excited. Because when Anthony Brown ran against Hogan, he lost by something like, I think, 65,000 votes. Dude, when Marion Barry ran for office in D.C., Ward 7, which is the second lowest voting ward, second poorest ward, about 11,000 people come out. If his name is on the ballot, there's 9,000 more. It's 20,000 people that come out to vote. Our vote is our biggest weapon. But we sit around and let people be left behind and talk about, well, you need to do this because Frederick Douglass and nobody want to hear that. No. But brother, if you think things are bad, yeah, you should have been, it's bad for a lot of people. Have you been to prison? And you been to prison?
No, I have not been to prison.
Okay, well,
3 days over central booking.
Yeah.
Act like sardines.
Right. But no, prison and all that's real. And that's bad. Project 20, it ain't trying to do, But what I'm saying, what they did to us is, and that's us. And we sat down like, what'd you say?
Here's the thing. With the school to prison pipeline, or just that prison pipeline, it only really affects a certain segment of people, right? There's a vast swath of Black people who have been able to avoid it. Parents are able to create these structures to make it so that their kid avoids prison, and it works when you work it, it works, right? Now, what they're trying to do here is make it so that those parents, regardless of how hard they work to keep their kid from ending up in prison, they will still end up in prison. They're making it so that no longer will prison just be somewhere where the police slap bracelets on you and put you in a cage. Prison will be living in America. As long your skin color will be your prison. That's what happens with Project 2025. That's like Jim Crow times 20. It's like putting Jim Crow on crack. This is like, the thing is, no, Jim Crow has not gone anywhere. It's just it's just not what it used to be. But now they're going to give it steroids and some crack. And now it's going to be supercharged.
Well, what did they do?
But I got to say this. And here's what Brother Reid is trying to say, and I think I get it, is that Jim Crow never left for working class Black people. It's never stopped. It only stopped for Black folks who were able to get to the middle and business and upper class. It only slowed down. Let me say it that way.
No, did it stop for the middle class? I mean, because we were able to move to a better neighborhood. Because as we move to better neighborhoods, we forsake the old neighborhoods we lived in, where white people are now moving back to. So,
and it's a perception, of advancement, if you will. That's the truth.
Pastor Scott used to always say, "New levels, new devils."
Yeah, that's exactly right. But the reality that Brother Reid is outlining is that, and I think this is the big point as it relates to the collective, the plight of Black people, Black Americans, is that, to Donnie's point earlier, when Black folks left the hood, went around this town, bought a business, kept going, they never turned around to say, let me go get everybody else.
We never did what Harriet Tubman did, Ervin.
Right. Yep.
That's the point. And because that's the point.
Because we've arrived now. I work for Governor Westmore.
That's right. I
go to the Democratic Convention now.
But let me tell you.
Hell with Baltimore City.
Let me tell y'all something with your middle class selves.
Yeah.
Get out of line. You ain't no different. They're going to come after you. Look, Wayne Curry was the cleanest guy, politician. The FBI had been at my door because I work with Wayne. Now,
you think the fight is over, Bird?
Yeah, the Washington Post gonna write. They were writing articles that, dude, if y'all think for 1 minute just because I missed that, no, you didn't. I just told you I got locked up, dude. I was out in 3 days. Soon as they got in on a Friday, unfortunately, But when I'm telling you
on the weekend,
they got me on the weekend, But what I'm telling you, I was locked up because I was a smart Negro. Yeah, now you can run around, be middle class, and go along with everybody. But the minute you open your mouth, dude, okay, all right, they got something for you too.
You see what happened? We see what happened to Marilyn Mosby. They went after her like she was. I mean, this is real. It's real.
What Mike Miller? I thought you knew Mike Miller. Mike Miller didn't send them boys, or you did he, Ervin?
Nah, this was black people that did that. That's what y'all got to keep on this. See, we like I said, this is why I don't even do politics much anymore. Like take James Clyburn. Everybody I know love James Clyburn. I'd take Tim Scott in a wheelchair before I take him on a horse. When Hillary Clinton ran against Bernie Sanders, everything came down to South Carolina.
Yep.
This dude had all the power in his hands.
Listen, that man.
You know what he did? This dude never even met with Bernie. How the hell you gonna not meet? You meet with everybody. Wayne Curry, and it's a damn shame y'all never met Wayne either. Wayne was that dude. When in 1988, no, in 84, 1980, Paris Glendening, the Democratic governor, was running for re-election. Wayne Curry was the county exec of Prince George's, Kirk Schmoke, the mayor of Baltimore City. Glendening became governor. He won 3 jurisdictions: Baltimore City, Prince George's County, and Montgomery County, and he became governor. So when it came time for re-election, Wayne Curry and Kirk Schmoke said, we ain't endorsing him until we sit down with him, cut a deal for our schools in Prince George's and Baltimore.
And they were mad as smoke.
Oh, but no, then he said, look, we ain't Mississippi, we rich state. We can do the right thing for our kids. Wayne, and then you know what Wayne told me? I said, well, Wayne, you really? He said, yeah. And once I cut a deal with Glendening, then I'm gonna go talk to Sauerbrey, his opponent, see if I can get a better deal. This ain't about politics. This is about people. See, right. but this guy Clyburn gonna sit here and not even meet, and we go, yeah, Clyburn. No, he got to go. See, we got leadership. People don't understand. Well, this game is all about one thing. It's all about economics, like Perrin was trying to tell y'all. That boy had a chance to do some economics. I'm telling you now, everybody in Flint, Michigan would have been cool. They would have had their kids would have been all right. We gonna sit here and have this stuff done, and we gonna sit here. He don't even talking about me and my wife know Hillary. Get him out of here, shoot him, get him out, get some real leadership in here. Yeah. So y'all can keep on running around talking about the white man. No, our leaders don't get it. Perrin told you, dude, they think we're the civil rights. No, this is an economic movement. If you don't understand this game, you don't get it. You ain't gonna get that.
Andy Pierre, they kept the Jews in the desert for 40 years as they flee from Egypt. And that was so the old people could die off. What do you think? Do we have old leadership? When you look at, and I'm just going to put it out there, they might not like me. I love the Urban League, but I wonder, is it Mark Morial's Urban League and nobody else? Does anybody else get to be president? The National Action Network. Does anybody but Al Sharpton get the lead? Operation Push. Does anybody but somebody who's related to Jesse Jackson get to lead? Because quite often these organizations supposedly represent black people. When I look at it, I see much like what I see in the church. I see a T.D. Jakes passing the ball to his daughter. Does anybody else get to play?
Well, one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. If you want the power, you got to take it. Ain't nothing about to get passed down to anybody.
Or stop supporting it. Stop telling me you're the National Urban League and just say you Mark Morial's Urban League. And I ain't knocking them. I'm just like, damn, dude, do you ever like bounce pass? A behind the back, a no look? Ever?
I mean, the thing is, you got some organizations, they kind of just hang on the brand. And then
NAACP got a 64-member board. What the hell can you get done with all of them Negroes? When the best thing you can see from BET, big ups to Taraji Henson. Big ups to Taraji. She used the platform. Man, we got rappers, we got preachers, we got people that want the limelight, but when they get the limelight, They on there defending themselves for going to a P. Diddy party, not talking about a Project 2025.
Yeah.
There's not too much I can say about that one, man, because it is a very concerted, well-funded effort to keep Black people misinformed.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, here's another big point, and again, Brother Reid dropping jewels. When you look at the power that Clyburn had, and to be honest with you, let's be real, Clyburn and the entire Congressional Black Caucus has the power right now when there's all this uncertainty around, are we going with Biden? Are we going with Kamala? Are we going to find someone else? The Black Caucus, Biden via the Black Caucus, Clyburn via the Black Caucus got Biden in office. They're the reason why Kamala was the VP pick. The power, we have it. We just don't know how to use it, when to use it. We're not strategic enough to fully utilize. They could call out right now and say, Biden, thank you for your service. Kamala's our person. Wes is our person.
Who are we scared?
We're scared. We're not trained. We're not trained. You hit the nail on the head earlier. It's not a process to effectively pass down the knowledge, strategic knowledge of how you handle when you have control over a voting block. And Black people control the vote in the Democratic Party. And if we wanted to, we could control the vote in any of these parties, Republican too. If we wanted to, we have to get organized to do it. And that's the challenge. And that's why we're having this conversation around what's the priorities and the platform for the Black working class, what's the priorities and the platform for the Black middle class, and how do we organize everybody's prioritized list in a way to have a Black agenda. That's where we
left out something. You left out the poor.
And the poor. Well, yeah, agreed. But again, we just have
that's
to.
What we can't forget that we all want. I hear it often said, Ervin, that we are not monolithic. When it came to slavery, we were. Even if you didn't have slavery in your family, you were disaffected by the slavery that was happening down the block. But now, Black people are not monolithic. Black people aren't all this. Black people aren't all this.
What does that really mean?
All getting prosecuted because of the color of our skin. And that's why they recruiting Black men to Japan and to Poland. What y'all think of that? But let's stay focused.
But you know, when somebody says Black people are not monolithic, that's nothing but class talk. That's the one Black class saying, I don't count me in with them. That's what that is. So until we're not going to be able to move forward progressively until we can prioritize what do we want as a people.
See, Harriet Tubman wasn't checking credit scores when she went back to Freed.
That's right.
Now we checking credit scores.
Yeah, that's real.
When truth be told, them boys on the corner with the dirt bikes might be the ones that get us up out of gunfire when things break out, this civil war. Because Andy, it looks like civil war to me.
That's real.
And they doing it in the name of God. Andy, could Project 2025 conservative white people have any understanding of the same God that you serve?
The thing is, what my mother says, we pray to the same God. When he's giving me justice, you can't complain. And so it's about time for us to extract our justice from the fucking hands of these. Excuse my language. I'm about to get. Let me not land myself.
That's your Haitian blood, boy. Speak the power.
Hey, Doni, let me ask you a question. When you say the conservatives, do you mean the Democrats as well, right?
Yeah, because you got. I mean, we just talked about Bill Clinton and then Joe Biden. I remember when Obama was president, Biden said that the Republicans are going to put Black people back into slavery. And I spoke out against that. I said, would he say that to the Jews, that the Republicans are going to put the Jews back in the oven? No, because the Jews would have his job by 12 noon. But he felt comfortable enough to say that if you don't vote for me, then you're not Black. See, white people play a role in this, whether they supposed to be good, bad, conservative or not. I don't know. All I know is
you can't trust the progressives either, man. They're just as dangerous as the conservatives.
Hey, we had Mark Moyse on the show talking about the LGBTQ community, that there's racism in that as well. They ride with Black people until they get to a certain point, and then all of a sudden it's like, then that white racist thing comes out
Mhm.
all over again. And so you no longer my brother, my sister. Now you my slave. No, I'm not.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, collectively, we all have our own unique interests. Like, so that's specific to you and your family, what the issues are for you and your family. So collectively, we have that. But when it's time to have a legislative agenda, we have to be strategic, because there are some things that all Black people deal with that you can't, economics can't hide from. Is that's the color of your skin. And so if the stigma still plays an active role in legislation and how you're viewed and what access to opportunity, we can't hide from that. So we have to still be strategic as to, okay, this year we should, again, I always say this, September in DC, Congressional Black Caucus Week, should be one of the most important times for Black people every year. We should flood that place, because that's the moment to set the real Black agenda and not just become the Black people who pushing the the DNC agenda. That's what it is. We're there, Black people pushing the DNC agenda. We should be there locking down our agenda for regardless of which party it is.
No, we there, but we there locking down a party.
Parties and all of that stuff. I mean,
Ervin, we over there doing a line dance. Everybody remember Elijah Cummings had one of the biggest parties over there. The party is nice, but what about the agenda, Andy?
That's right.
The agenda is a little one-sided, man. It's a little one-sided.
That's right.
And then we want to forget about our brothers and sisters over the jail.
But do we have an agenda? I mean, if you...
Yeah, we got an agenda. Yes, we do. We done talked about this over and over. Black business, public education, mass incarceration, affordable housing, universal access to health care, redlining. And then here in Maryland, up here, Ervin, they talking about the red line. Hogan stopped the red line. Hogan stopped the red line. Tell the damn truth. Martin O'Malley had the red line right there, could have made a shovel ready, and he kicked the can down the road. When are these damn Democrats going to grow some testicular fortitude and hold these Democrats accountable?
Well, that's why when you go to Black people and start telling them they need to vote for, Biden or Kamala because Trump is this, that, they don't want to hear it, Donnie. And let me just finish my story real quickly with Wayne and Kirk Schmoke. They finally endorsed Glendenning. You know why? Because they got a call from the president, Bill Clinton, who threatened to kill their HUD funds and other things, because Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, who's a Kennedy, her uncle called the president and said, we need to get my daughter's lieutenant governor. And see, it wasn't about it. Once you understand, this game ain't about helping us unless we help us. And that's just the way it is.
Said that they went to Kathleen Kennedy Townsend and she says, listen, I'm not my father, I'm not my uncle. And she turned her ass around and walked the other way. KKT, and that's where she lost. That's when the first Republican governor came to Maryland in 36 years, because of that same arrogant slave mentality. Not slave master, slave mentality. She thinks she cute.
But like I said, this is a critical period. Unfortunately, if they put Kamala up as the opponent, she can't beat Trump. I told people Hillary, no, Ervin, Hillary, it's her turn. Ain't no your turn. It's like wrestling practice. Every week you get a challenge.
Okay, let's get straight to it. Is Westmore? Are we ready to drop Westmore's name for president?
Westmore the man. Westmore, this boy got balls, man. This boy is smart. He understands that if you can embolden that 175, dude, you'll win every election. Yeah, that's what Marion did. Marion was he was unelectable because people thought he cared. Perry Mitchell never ran a damn campaign after the first, I think maybe the second time he was in office. He didn't have to. He had no signs and nothing went up. When he decided not to run, and damn near every yard in Baltimore had a sign that said, run, Perry, run. Because people felt they believed in him. And Wes is showing you, like he said, dude, I'm 13 when they put them handcuffs on me. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel them. Yeah, we don't need people in there. Yeah, you know, like I said, I spent 6 months in Cherry Hill Junior High teaching. Had to leave because it was too crazy. Like I was gonna kill somebody. Then people tell me, what they need to do with the schools. No, dude, you need to go in them schools and see what the hell going on.
See what's going on.
Yeah, but we need elected officials, man, that are gonna do the right, that at least good and decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, what I'm concerned about Kamala, and I can vote for Kamala if I like her answers, but she's got to explain, because the worst thing ever happened in this country in my lifetime, in my opinion, is Donald Trump and the Republicans. The worst thing ever happened to black people in my lifetime was Bill Clinton and the Democrats.
So, I'm going to say the worst thing happened in my lifetime was the day the number was 666 in Baltimore and Ronald Wilson Reagan came in, and next thing you know, crack was everywhere. Listen, this is from one of our listeners. The Atlanta Journal and the New York Times have published a call for President Biden to step down. This is from one of our regular viewers. The iron is hot for you to strike. Write an op-ed spelling out the reasons to launch a draft Hillary Clinton for president. The reasons are easy. There's too much on the line. That's what he said. The reasons are easy. There's too much on the line to risk the chance of winning. The next president is going to name at least 2 or 3 Supreme Court justices. The Supreme Court will be ruled for decades by the next nominees. B, Hillary has all the makings to beat Trump. I disagree. She actually won last time. I disagree. She won the popular vote by 3 million. Her loss was caused by her mistaken Pennsylvania rally where she said that coal mines would be closed under her administration. She did not lay out the plan to replace coal with renewable energy well enough. Put the thought of a Hillary Clinton Westmore in the conversation, and Hillary's people will go in automatic. They will do the heavy lifting. Hillary will stand indifferent up until the deal is done. Westmore will also be on it. What do you think?
So the thing is, Westmore is a shining star right now, right? He's like the biggest, he's the best brawler the Democratic Party has.
I don't see him playing second.
I don't want to see a black man come in there and clean up some mess that the white man has made.
Again.
The 2 white man has made.
Again.
No.
Westmore had to clean up George Bush. Remember George Bush? Remember 9/11?
Mm-hmm. Obama had to come in and clean that mess up.
Yeah. You're hitting on a really important point here, because the fact is DNC wants West. They want West. They see it.
We see him out with him.
They're loving them in Iowa. They're loving them in the bellwether states.
So the question then becomes,
but damn, we got the O'Malley syndrome all over again. Who's gonna lead Maryland? Who they gonna give me? Who they gonna give me? Brooklyn
O'Malley ain't get 3% out of Iowa.
I already told you, man.
Scott, what the hell happened? We had momentum going in. It's like, damn.
Why y'all don't want to get on the Brandon Scott train for governor, man? This is what this is, man.
Did you talk to him about this?
No. All I'm saying is the momentum. He is building momentum. Listen, Brandon Scott trained for governor. That's what's happening.
I'm not sure crime is down. I'm looking around.
I see what you're saying.
And listen, Brandon Scott brings a basketball team to Baltimore. I'm Brandon Scott for governor all day long.
Listen, man.
What's your name on the Baltimore Bullets?
That was the that was the name.
I don't even care what their name.
Yeah,
it's bigger, but you know, it's got to be like I want a Green Bay Packers type deal. The city-owned basketball team. That would be dope.
Listen, yeah,
Ervin. Too often the Democrats don't know business. They don't do business. I mean, even down to getting a damn political ad on this news network. Who do you have to know when the white boys in politics get paid top dollar off the break first? And that's my problem with these black white supremacists. These black people who pay white people before they pay their own black people, whether it's Baltimore City, Prince George's County, or the entire state of Maryland. We've seen these politicians, these executives, they pay white boys, but they won't pay you. They won't pay me. They won't pay Andy Pierre. Andy Pierre across the aisle on you. Play with him if you want. Andy will go over there and get $250,000 from the other side.
And ruffle your feathers.
Andy don't play with him, Ervin. We over here begging. Yes, And you're saying yes, a boss to another black person who look at you stupid. Then they get in office and they do the Kathleen Kennedy Townsend on you. I don't know you. Like Donna Edwards. I saw her at the White House. Hey, Donna, how you doing? I'm Donnie Glover. We put your press releases out all the time. She's like, and how are you today? You ain't even cute. Glad she got rid of that Jerry curl.
Said you ain't even cute. That's funny. But nah, this a friend of mine told me that listen, the America as we know it today is not going to be America in 20 years, and people need to brace themselves.
Project 2025 scares me because they mention God, and I realize whoever these people are and whatever their perception of God and Jesus and Christ and the Bible is not mine. I don't trust them. As a matter of fact, if this were property, I'd have a shotgun right there. As soon as they come with that literature, boom.
Mm-hmm.
You can't possibly know God. How can you know God?
I really
it's
want.
Like Pat Robinson. He can't tell me about God. I done seen how he get down.
That's true. That's true. I really want black folks, and when I say black folks, again, when we start talking about our voter base and the role of the Congressional Black Caucus and other leaders, as you mentioned, Donnie, from the Urban League to NAACP, how do we stay organized enough to master the moment? We're in that moment right now to be able
I want Taraji for president. I'm with Taraji. I'm with Taraji. We need somebody with some balls.
Oh, Kanye then.
Nah, slavery was not an option. It was not a choice. No.
Hey, if we're naming random options, we're gonna throw Kanye in there.
No, you got
but we got people like James Clyburn. See, the problem is we celebrate these people. We listen to them. This dude didn't talk to Bernie. Dude, this negotiation 101.
He's a Democrat. Bernie was hijacking the party.
Yeah.
But it ain't about Democrats. It's about the people. Once you see, what I'm saying to you is this: if you don't understand that it's just like in Prince. I watch council people. Every deal, vote that goes down on a land deal, somebody getting paid. So if it's your person ain't getting paid, somebody getting paid. It's like, dude, that's all this thing is. It's economics. And
so here's the thing.
Wayne was a
Bernie Sanders in particular.
Attorney. What's that?
When it comes to Bernie Sanders in particular, I think Bernie's loss is Bernie's fault. Because the thing is, you're an independent. You've been an independent senator for how many freaking years, and you're going to run in the Democratic primaries and then try to get the Democrats to get on board with you. What he should have done was run as an independent, because guess what? He would have got on the ballot in all the states. Because they love Bernie, and he would have been on that ballot as the third candidate in the general election, which means he would have swept both Trump and Hillary.
Okay,
he had 33% walking in on his own, no help. He had 33%. He could have walked in and been on that general election ballot, and he would have bent both of them over each of his knees and whooped them. I promise you that.
But Andy, I don't care if Bernie win or lose or do whatever. Well, my point is this. Nobody's in the room talking about us. If you got an elected official that walks in the room and they're not talking about negotiation, y'all got to understand, Marion Barry was a genius. I think he was like a few credits away from a PhD in chemistry or something like that. Rich white boys love Marion more than black people. Because what Marion would do, he would take $100 million deal that the city now was going to put in $25 million. But you know what Marion would do? I'm putting in 30. And 5 of that million is going to these black folk over here. And I'm going to move this deal along. Everybody benefited. So all I'm saying is, okay, Bernie don't look like me. He ain't never looked like me. James Clyburn is the one everybody running around talking about how great he is. And this nigga ain't even. I'm just saying, if you don't understand what parents said, this is an economic move we got going on with every deal that's happening. You know, the reason prisons aren't closed because it's too much money. Why you gonna have a prison for profit? That don't make sense.
And the point that, again, going back to it all, what Brother Reid just outlined again is if you're an elected official who's going to find ways to reinvest in the Black working class, in the forgotten parts of the city, you got my vote. If you're a Black person who just focused on the Black middle class and Black business class getting better, but not trying to do anything for the forgotten parts of the city, why should we want to support you? And this is highlighting the difference between the perception of Clyburn and anyone else, who, whether it be Wayne Curry, whether it be Marion Barry. And that's the big point in the fracture we have right now in the Black political party, if you will, or the Black caucus, is who has policies and who's doing right for the forgotten parts of the Black community per city throughout the country.
Andy Pierre, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is I want to see a floor fight in this Democratic convention. And I want to see Bloomberg, and I want to see Wes Moore in this floor fight versus Biden. And I would say Kamala Harris, but I'm not foolish. And come on now, that lady is afraid of her own shadow. She is afraid to say the wrong things, and that's why I'm sorry, Mr. Reid, but you probably never get the answers that you want because she's too afraid to say the wrong thing. Because let's be real. Even if she just came out and said, "Listen, we just had to do it. You got a lot of just double down on it, if you will." We'll have more respect for that,
right? Yeah.
Than we will for you just avoiding the question. But
if you're vice president,
let's make this thing good TV.
Vice presidents don't do it,
and a weak man can't work. Byron Deese, your final thoughts.
My point is Kamala is a vice president, and she's running the lineage of the only vice presidents who have really picked up in a storm was what was Bush vice president's name?
Cheney.
Halliburton.
Don't go hunting with Dick.
Vice President Halliburton was the only one of all the history of vice presidents who actually said something and did something. So I'm not expecting
he handled his business though.
Dick bust a cap.
But listen. I think it's important to watch it over the next week or so. We're going to see a heavy shift to Kamala. To your point, Andy, it could be a contested, but you're going to see a heavy shift to Kamala just from an infrastructure perspective because the money that Biden has can be rolled over to her. She can use that money. Anybody else, they got to start fundraising on their own. That's from scratch.
No, not really, because guess what? Biden can give everything in his bank account to the party, and the party can back the play of whoever they want. Party don't want to do that.
Party don't want to do it. So it's all going to Kamala. So that's the move.
Because nobody's going to be able to throw a machine together as quickly as the party can. The party, you put the money in the party's hand, the party will have a machine running in every freaking state by the end of the week. But if you expect it for that one candidate to put together their machine, that's dead. That's not him. Not at this point. Not after a floor fight. Except for Bloomberg. Bloomberg can put together a machine in 2 days because he's got the money.
Joe Biden looks like he has no intention on passing the ball up and through the weekend. Your final thoughts, and thank you for coming on the show and schooling us young bucks.
No, I personally am. I'm no longer angry. People need to do what it is that they need to do, and if the party wants to, send Kamala, Biden, Hillary, whoever they want to send, fine with them. I want to support people who I think are going to make a difference and look after those individuals that I care most about. My only thing though is just quit crying, because when Hillary lost, when people cried, people stayed home, people this. Dude, if you make a movie and nobody goes see it, maybe you need to make another movie. So whoever we put up, I'm just telling you, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris till she answers the question. Now, I ain't mad if she never answers a question, and I hope you don't get mad if I don't vote for her. So that's just how that goes. So no, I ain't mad, ain't angry. Yeah, burn y'all up. Clyburn, y'all want Clyburn? Y'all got Clyburn. There ain't nothing, but like I say, I'd take Tim Scott over Clyburn. That's just me. But I don't give a damn one way or another. I'm gonna be all right. So at this particular point, but I can only do what I can do and help whoever asks me a question and give you my advice or whatever. But just don't cry when you put up the wrong candidate in the name of democracy, because if it ain't about democracy, it ain't about democracy.
So it's not about democracy. Project 2025 does not seem like democracy to me. It seems like fascism, far-right conservative think tank that are atheists.
No. But Donnie, when I say democracy, I'm saying people are telling me, Ervin, you need to vote because if you don't vote, democracy is in jeopardy. Well, man, let's put the best candidate. Like, Andy, let's have a floor fight, put the best in there, let's all go in. But don't tell me, well, black women gonna get mad if we don't do Hillary. Then it ain't about democracy. It's about black women getting mad. I mean, it is what it is. What's that? What I'm saying, Hillary, Kamala can't win. That's what I'm saying. Y'all, I'm telling you now, I know white boys that hate Biden. If you bring Kamala, they gonna now go get their family and some motherfuckers. They ain't even thought about voting. Like, there's no way in hell. Yeah, come on, y'all.
So what about civil war? Are we gonna have civil war?
I don't think so. I don't. You might have civil war down in Iowa or maybe in South Georgia. But the Klan talked about 3 years ago. The Klan was marching in D.C. Yeah, okay. 5 people showed up, dude. It was like, dude, them brothers, because these kids packing, y'all. They got guns too.
Yeah. The thing is, the Civil War is not going to be a firefight. This Civil War is going to be economic.
Oh, it's already.
This Civil War is going to be about education and economy. And this Civil War is not about
it's happening right now.
Exactly, it's about our future.
Have you been in a school, in inner city school, and see what's going on? They're not teaching them. There was this one kid I saw in the Baltimore City schools. He was like the top third of his class, but yet he was in prison that year. Dude, they ain't they just moved. Nah, all of that's been happening for years.
Yeah.
And then you got
we cannot deny that this is a war.
Okay, I agree.
All we can say is that this war has been happening for a while.
It's an attack. It's not a war because we're not fighting back.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you, we act like this stuff just started because we ain't felt the pain. Now, I know people that been feeling the pain for 20 years. Right. Yeah. Dude, if you ain't feeling the pain, look, I grew up in Cherry Hill. If a couple of guys came to the neighborhood and beat up somebody and then they left and they came and beat up somebody else, sooner or later they gonna come and beat up you. No, we stopped that beat up the first go round. No, it ain't gonna be dude. What I'm saying is you can leave them 175,000 behind. But guess you need them. That's the plan.
That's the base.
What you talking about? Our thing is the vote. Dude, in the state of Maryland, Wayne Curry used to preach it all the time. He used to try to get with the delegation and say, look, Prince George's County is the #1 largest Democratic voting block in the state. You don't become governor without us. We go down there and demand what we want.
Correction. You don't become governor without Baltimore and Prince George's.
Well, no, he's talking but you don't do it without Prince George's, right?
Oh, you don't do it without Baltimore. Baltimore got what PG don't have. We got media.
Right. No. But what I'm saying though, Donnie,
like two wheels on the axis. I get you. I get what he was saying.
What I'm saying is, to our delegation, he would tell them in their thing, well, Wayne, but you ain't in Annapolis. No. All the hits that man took. Yeah. This boy, look, when they built the stadium in Prince George's County, the state put in $300 million for infrastructure work. You know how much money the county put in? Not a dime. Wayne said, I'm not putting the damn thing in. That's when the FBI and everybody started. No, Wayne, you the governor and Miller, the Senate president. Nah, we're gonna look bad if the state. Wayne said, the man too old. This is his last opportunity. He can't go no place else. So I'm not putting in a dime. And he got internships for Bowie State. He cut one of the best stadium deals. The man was an economic guy and he understood business. So what I'm saying is we can sit around here running numbers, that 175, if they were loyal, excited, dude, we would always have a black governor, a black everything in the state of Maryland. But
I haven't had a chance to ask you, what do you think of Brandon Scott putting David Bramble down at the harbor to redevelop the harbor?
Okay, well, let me say, I don't know Bramble. I don't really know much.
His family owns the Baltimore Times newspaper, the Black Weekly.
If the guy's capable, I think it's great. But let me say this about Brandon Scott. I thought Brandon was a joke until I watched this show. And then I have a whole new, total respect for Brandon. Really. And this is the problem, the other problem we had. The biggest problem in our community is we get our news from white folk. And shows like this are what we need. Because again, I just see Brandon. I've seen Brandon in a couple of places. Yeah, and he ain't look like no man, like brother, But then when y'all started telling me about him and what he's doing, and I'm like, wait, now I have to take another look. Now I'm excited.
More pro-black than most.
Yeah, right. This young boy, yeah. So yeah, but without this show, I wouldn't have known that. He'd have been just a joke to me.
I got to give him some props. And he's been able, look, they got this report up here named Mackenzie Frost over at Fox, and she be on him like an attack dog. And lately, she been doing a lot of smiling, Andy. Every time I see Mackenzie, she's smiling like she got a boyfriend or something. But she been smiling and smiling. I'm like, wow. But they lost, too, because they went after the king and they missed. Remember, they were over there supporting Sheila Dixon, and Brandon beat her again.
And he looked good behind that bridge situation. He looked real.
Oh my God! I know Sheila and them campers like, oh damn. Yeah, he's on TV every day, Andy. Byron, he was on TV every day, and he didn't slip.
That's right.
Free media. Can't beat that.
Free media. They owned it. He owned it, and he has a family now, right? Before he didn't have a family. People trying to figure out who is Brandon. Is he this? Is he that? He got a family, got little kids, he got other stuff to post. I mean, it's looking great, man. And listen, I was never a big Brandon Scott guy.
So the hell with the man being married.
Brandon has had a.
Oh, hold up. To the hell with the man being married, Byron. That's what you're saying.
It's coming.
Being
it's
married,
coming.
Huh?
It's coming. He's doing this all the right way. Watch, it's gonna be
all the right way. Now, Byron, I take exception to that. Are you married?
Who, me? Oh yeah, brother.
Did you get married first or have kids first?
Oh well, no. Well, I'm a black Christian, right? So I'm doing it. I got married first, engaged then. But hey, it's a different age. I'm from an older school than he is, right? So
see, that's the part that worries me there. And what's that TU stand for? Texas what?
Tuskegee University, baby. So we have to always represent.
Ervin, are we turning our backs on tradition? Is it okay to have a kid as the mayor? And then, we'll talk about marriage down the road. Is that the signal that we want to send? Because it's like the rules are no more. There are no rules.
Hey, look, if you can go rape women and become president, yeah, I mean, the rules have totally
changed. So the bar is as low as dirt.
I think America is what it is right now. I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean, I've had.
Or was it always like that? And now it's just revealed.
I remember
speaking from a political tactics scenario position.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Speaking from a political tactics position, right? It's more relatable for him to just have the baby and then get married later because there's a lot more of them style families in Baltimore City. Like more him getting married and doing all of that, it is ideal. 70% yes.
Single. So now we're celebrating our negative socioeconomic factors like 70% single mother household, 70% recidivism, 60% is passing in the school system. The bar is as low as dirt now, right?
Well, it's not that the bar is as low as dirt. It's just that when it comes down to politics, right, you kind of want to be as relatable as possible. Like the reason why Elijah Cummings' ex-wife, the reason why Elijah Cummings' wife lost this race was because she went negative on Kwesi and Fume in a city where we have a bunch of flawed individuals. You want to attack this man based off of his flaws. That's where she went wrong.
I thought she went wrong because we didn't know her and still don't know her and ain't seen her since, kind of like been jealous.
That's where she went wrong. That's where she went wrong.
With Doni, Calvin Hawkins, who's a council member in Prince George's County, when I ran his campaign, he spent 7 years in prison for armed robbery.
He owned it.
And that became his selling point, that the fact that, and that happened when he was younger, he was in college, but it became a thing where, especially older white women fell in love because he never complained. He took responsibility. He never said what the system did. And that became our message. And so I remember when Angela first ran for state's attorney. Angela had a child out of wedlock, and we were concerned about that. And come to find out, she had become a role model for so many. I don't think you take somebody that did something maybe that, you know, God wouldn't approve of or whatever, but God forgives. So if he can forgive, why can't we? And I just think
not about forgiveness. It's like, dude, you did all of this stuff to become mayor. You did all of this planning, and then out the clear damn blue, we didn't even know you had a girlfriend. Out of the clear blue, I don't know. Am I supposed to forget how this came about? Out of the clear blue, oh, now the man got a baby, and it's like, huh?
Okay, well,
am I missing something?
I mean, some of us have an idea of what, you know, like what was going on, what was being speculated beforehand. But you know, listen, he's got a baby now.
The pictures look great. I mean, and the pictures came out just in time for the election. I mean, it was great. I mean,
if he takes care of that kid, yeah, everybody, yeah, if he does it right, he's a great father. Then you know, that's the thing.
Man. He's taking the kid to the ball game, and he's taking his new son, her son, to the ball games too. I mean, it's a great example of the reality for so many voters, right? Voters are making. I'm in that same situation.
He's playing stepdad. You know what I'm saying? Like he is the most relatable mayor we could have right now.
It's real deal, man.
The first deal he signed when he became mayor the first time was a $43 million deal for Venable Law Firm. That was the law firm that Jim Shea was a member of. Next thing you know, Venable negotiated the BG&E contract to where BG&E now has control of the underground conduits. That's power and money.
You gotta pay back the folks who helped you get to where you was at.
Yeah. It's politics. It happens. You know. All I'm saying is,
gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. in York.
No, I was just gonna say back to your point, because I know you were like, well, what's happening for the future of Maryland government? Who's next? Don't sleep on Brandon Scott. And see, a 2-term elected.
I take Brandon over Brooke Learman because I don't know Brooke Learman. People say all of these nice things to win over the black vote. I've seen what they do. I saw Brooke Learman in Annapolis. She had one black person with her and about 8 white boys. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I know the black guy. He's a good guy.
Andy Pierre, Byron Deese, Ervin, Bernard Reid. This has been real.
Oh man.
The revolution will be on Instagram.
This one will be televised. It will be tweeted.
It's being televised.
Good morning, world. Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh man.